I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
I'm about to go bald head like you, bro. This quarantine got me, brother.
What's up, everybody? I'm the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
And I'm the writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid, the relationship architect.
This dude gonna say he about to go bald like me.
Yeah, this quarantine got me, bro. I'm telling you. That's why I got the cap on tonight.
Wow. Well, cool, man. Welcome, everybody, to Books-N-Brothas podcast. As you can see, we're on another quarantine episode, and we're getting it in. Brother already starting it off with jokes. Other than needing a haircut, bro, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing good. Just busy. Just finished up at work, and now we committed to making it happen. So I'm excited to be with you guys tonight or the day whenever you see this podcast. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. Just been getting work done, bro. Just been getting it done. Got a few things. As you can see, I started something new.
Yeah.
Start something new for the haters. You will. But, but no, bro, it's been good, bro. I just been knocking out work, getting stuff done, man.
That's good. That's good, man.
Everybody good. I realized one thing yesterday. I realized I'm old. Okay?
What?
This is how I realized I'm old. Yesterday, we had to go get Alexis, my oldest daughter, move her out of her dorm room and move all the stuff back to Virginia. And bro, I went up them 5 flights of stairs 2 times. And I said, I will never do this again. I said, when we have to move you back in July, I am paying for movers.
Yeah.
I make too much money for manual labor. I will pay somebody to do it. It's worth my health and my sanity.
Yeah.
So I'm too old for to move. I'm going to pay people to move my daughter in.
Man, I get it. Because I'm telling you, man, I had 2 that's in college, and I'm telling you, one was several flights, and then they moved 3 times in one semester.
Yep. No elevator or anything.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not doing it. Thanks a lot. Anyway, we got it done. I think the school felt bad for us. They had some actual movers there moving the furniture out of the dorms so they could sterilize the dorms and stuff. And so they sent a couple of guys up there because they saw us struggling with all that stuff, bro. So it was crazy. But we got it done. Thank God for that. But yeah, man. So let's jump into it today. Once again, the great doctor came up with the topic this week, talking about how to create an anthology. We both have some experience in this department because I only done one. I think you've been a part of several, and you have done a couple yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna let you kick it off, bro, and I'm gonna piggyback off you.
Oh, great, man. This is a topic near to my heart because anthologies are really amazing ways to kind of collaborate. If you're at home and thinking about, man, I want to do something in a collaboration with somebody, because man, I've been sitting back really and just evaluating during this time, like so many things that I want to do, I can't do. Yeah. But it's been showing me mental ways to still get done what I really want to get done. It's like the creative juices have been flowing. And so one of my first books that I was in as a kid, Kelly, was an anthology. I wrote a story in a writing contest when I was in 6th grade. And I'll never forget, it was about if I could see tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so it was based on basically better day, brighter days. And I remember writing and saying, if I can see tomorrow, I wouldn't forget about the things today. I would focus on the brighter things and still show others the way.
Mm.
So I remember that poem. I did about a 5-minute monologue, turned it into an anthology, and it
Yeah.
was a contest, and I won. And so I think it was about 100 other kids around the country got to be in this book.
Dope.
And so it's funny, I started that way, and then I ended up doing it later on. So anthology, what is it? First of all, I want to say it's a collection of stories about a topic. It can be real life stories. It could be fiction. It could be all different types of different things that you can come up with. But it's basically like you write your portion and you interweave it with other writers.
Yeah.
And so what I love about it, the first point I want to say is that you take the focus off of you
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of put it on us. It's an us project. So for people that I would say that feel uncomfortable, maybe you have a fear of writing, maybe you are thinking like, hey, I can't do it, it's too much. It allows you to take bite-sized pieces and do it in that dimension and interweave your story around a topic or goal. And so if you're an author, you can come up with a topic, like we said back in another episode,
Yeah.
and you can interview experts, and that could be your anthology, and you can write it. So that's my first point.
Yeah, man, that's a great idea. Yeah, create an anthology interviewing experts around a particular topic. That would be that's a great idea. One thing about anthology. Here's my first point. Especially if you interview experts and get experts to be a part of your book, and you include your story along with that, it can be a transfer of credibility. So it can be a transfer. So people begin to look at you in the same class as the people in your book. As for an example, when I created the book about Shark Tank and I interviewed Damon John and Barbara Corcoran, people automatically begin to relate me to the show. And there was a transfer of credibility from the show and from the sharks, Damon John and Barbara. And so that's my first point. Creating an anthology and interviewing experts could give you a transfer of credibility, and people will begin to perceive you as an expert in the same field that you create the anthology. So be strategic in, in the type of anthology you want to create and the target audience. That way you can be perceived as the proper expert in the proper field. So that's my first point.
I love it.
Transfer of credibility.
Transfer of credibility.
Yeah.
It's funny, I think so. We got taking it off you, by breaking it into bite-sized pieces, build a collaboration and interview an expert, and then you talked about second point, transfer of credibility.
Yeah.
I like to say my third point is that you cut your time in half. Because I hear so much. That's the main thing, and I'm sure you hear it as being a publisher. Why you not getting your book done? I don't have time. Or why you haven't finished? I don't have time. Well, you can actually just say, hey, dedicate a chapter. We can break it down in words. When I did my anthology, I did several. One was Words from the Low Place. I broke it down to say, hey, and everybody in my book except probably one had never ever published in their life, including my mom.
Right.
And so what was powerful about that'll be my next point, was that I provided an opportunity to say, hey, give me 1,200 words, 1,500 words.
Yeah.
That takes the excuses out of it. All right. I give you 1,200 words. You do that. You can do that in your sleep, 1,200 words, and then you can turn it in. So it cuts your time in half and allows you to be a published author without having to do your whole entire book.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. A great way to cut, the time in half. Love that. Yeah. And like you said, it'll give opportunities to people who have never been published authors and relieve some of their anxieties, because if we know, a lot of people have books that they have started and haven't finished yet. So giving them an opportunity to be a part of your project will definitely help them. All right, let me think of my next point, because my last point is fire. I don't want to give them that yet.
Don't kill them.
I'm giving them 3 points. I got to think of a second one, but that last one I'm going to give them is fire. It's fire.
Fire and desire.
All right, I'll give a tip on how to get people to be a part of your anthology. All right. And it's very simple. You have the advantage. You have social media. Okay. All you have to do is reach out to them. So DM them. A lot of them, if you can, I would DM them. I would email them. I would do everything I can to get in touch with them and ask them, can you interview them? And here's the key word. Here's how to get them to agree to do the interview. You say, hey, I'm writing a book about entrepreneurship, and I love what you are doing in the community and what you're doing in entrepreneurship. And I would love for you to be a part of my panel of experts. When are you available? I would love to do a quick 30-minute interview with you via Skype, Zoom, or whatever is your best platform. Boom. Put that in an email, put that in a message, give them a little bit of information about yourself, and boom, most of them will agree to give you an interview. But that's how I would go about getting people to be a part of my anthology. And I would contact a bunch of them, and because you never know who's going to say yes, who's going to say no. Say they don't have time. But if you're listening to this right now, a lot of people are at home, and this is what they're doing. They're doing interviews. They're doing Skype interviews. They're doing Zoom calls. They're doing Facebook Lives. So think about it that way. You can definitely get anthology done real quick by interviewing celebrities and different experts and influencers. But go ahead, bro.
Well, that's awesome. Interviewing those, we've been saying it for day in, day out on this podcast, is that you don't have to be the expert. You can interview experts that makes you an expert.
Yeah.
Right? Because it goes back to your point of transfer of credibility. My point, man, my third point is this, and I do it all the time: be clear about your vision and your message.
Yeah.
In your anthology, because you want to attract the right people. If you're all over the place, you're going to have people. If you're talking about building cars and you want to talk about manufacturers, right? You don't want to have people that just go to car shows.
Yeah.
They're going to just be talking about what it looks on the outside. You got to be very clear, pinpoint accuracy about what your vision is, and then you got to be able to articulate that. I'm gonna give you a bonus point. I'm gonna start I'll drop some gas, and then Kelly's gonna come with the fire. So we're gonna have an explosion. But this particular thing that I'd say that I've done and I do all the time when I do anthology is create a questionnaire. Create a questionnaire so that you can screen people, so you don't have everybody jumping into your anthology. I've been a part of some anthologies where it didn't mesh because we had people all over the place. When I read it, it was just kind of like, I don't see how the stories interweave and stick to this particular concept. So you want to screen and put out, okay, almost like this is an outline of my project. Next, this is basically what I'm looking for. And have you found yourself in these categories? Because you can screen people out. I know you may want people to be a part, but you want the right type of help.
Yeah.
The other thing, I'll do a personal story. My first anthology that I did was called Words from the Low Place.
Yeah.
And it was a book that talked about overcoming in bad times, overcoming a situation. So I wasn't looking for stories about people who just made it. I wanted to get people that were still in the struggle, that I can feel the raw emotion, and I wanted people to pour their heart out in this book. Gotcha. And what I love about it was I was looking everywhere, and I realized that I didn't have to look too far. I found my mom, who was a breast cancer survivor, and was looking for a platform, was kind of saying, I want to do my book, want to do my book, want to do my book. I said, Mom, okay. She's recovering. She's going through certain things. At the time, she's overcoming her breast cancer battle. I said, Mom, here's what I want you to do. And it was so dope. When she was going through her trouble and her trials, bro, I wrote her poems about survival. So I was able to use my poems of survival to introduce her in the book, and then she told her story. So my mom became a published author who probably wouldn't have done it. She has yet to kind of do her own book yet. Was able to give a part of this book. I was able to be a vehicle to her and 9 other people.
Yeah.
And so that's the powerful thing. But I was very, very selective. And we got future to turn these things in the movies or whatever. But basically, I got raw stories from raw people. They knew what I wanted, and I was able to drive them and guide them in and carefully fit them inside this program.
Dope. Okay, so my final point. Great point, bro. Doing a questionnaire. Yeah, like you said, because you want to screen the people, especially if they're not experts or celebrities, because what you'll find out, like you said, a lot of people, have a story. They don't know quite how to put that story together and may need some coaching. So, it may be a reflection of the type of book that you want to create. So, think about it like this. Here, I wanted to lead them with an idea on how to create one. All right. So this is a great way that you can actually raise money.
Wow.
Now, if you I said if you let's just think, if you got 15 authors, right? You got 15 authors and you charge them each $300 to be a part of your book. Hold on a second. 15 times 3. Wait a minute. 15. That's $4,500
Wow.
if you did an anthology and raise money. So that's, you can make that money on the front end, and then you also get the book sales on the back end. So creating an anthology is a great way that you can raise some funds and get some things going, even if you want to create or publish your own bigger book. So you can create an anthology to raise funds or to raise money. All right. Now, if you're an entrepreneur like myself, let me give you another idea. Let's just say you want to do this just to raise money. Okay. You can go around to different, say if you went to different realtor offices, okay? And you went in there and you said, hey, I'm doing these books for realtors, and it could be a great profile for each one of the realtors in your office, all right? Charge them, say, hey, it's $10,000, and you can put all of your realtors in there, put their stories in there, and this is a marketing tool that they can give away to potential clients. And instead of leaving brochures and flyers and all of that stuff on the counter when they do open houses, they can leave a book that they're a part of. Okay.
Wow.
It's one idea. So you can go to realtors, you can go to law offices and do this same thing. You can go to any type of place that has multiple employees that actually hand out business cards or brochures and present this opportunity to them. Now think about how many realtors there are in the world, how many real estate companies, how many real estate, I don't know what they call them for real estate agents, their hub, is that what it's called? Like branches. Like think about how many branches there is. You can go around. Ooh, think about how many dentist office there is in your area, chiropractors. Like if your mind is clicking, you can make a bunch of money real quick by doing an anthology and charging, $300 to $500 per chapter. And I know people that charge thousands of dollars. So, but you could do it. I just wanted to break down the numbers in a small way. That way your mind can start rolling. But yeah, that's my final tip. Think about how you can make some money by creating your first anthology. All right, bro, what you got on that?
Man, piggybacking on you, that was fire. The other part of it is piggybacking off of you. My last point, piggybacking off of you, was this. You can also raise the capital for you, but you can also do it for an initiative.
Yeah.
I said it before. Many people are saying, hey, how can I help with this COVID? What can I do?
Yeah.
This could be a thing that you can dedicate as a memoir or whatever. Say, hey, man, I'll give you one, man. I'm going to throw this out.
That's dope.
What if you interview people who are quarantining now and did an anthology on that? What are they doing to make it through the quarantine?
Yeah.
And you got 25 people, what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just giving you a title. You take 25 people, they're home anyway, you do it, they get their story out, boom, boom, boom. Or you can say how Kelly said, what are 25 realtors doing right now? Because a lot of people are not being able to sell houses, even though I know in this area they're still active. But what about business experts who are at home? What are they doing at home during this time to make money? Whatever it may be, and you dedicate it to a cause. Or let me get 25 COVID survivors.
Yes.
Tell their story. Whatever it may be. You got 3 or 4 topics right there, and you can give back to what's going on.
Dope. Yep. Great way. Perfect. I ain't got nothing to add to that. Perfect. He gave you the idea to shut this whole thing down. There are groups of people and experts already at home. You can create a book around that and show people how they're making it through this coronavirus. So once again, thank you guys for listening today. Be sure and subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you're following us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Help us get to that 100 subscribers on YouTube. And make sure you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts as well, so we move up the rankings and get more listeners. on there. And once again, if you need coaching, if you need writing coaching, you need relationship coaching, Dr. Oliver T. Reid is available. And if you need marketing and publishing coaching, I am available as well. Shoot us an interview, Books-N-Brothas@gmail.com. Also, we're available for interviews, podcast interviews. We're available to speak at your virtual conferences, your virtual workshops. So make sure you hit us up. We would love to be a part of your event. And if you think we got a lot of content, or we give away a lot of free content on these podcasts, just imagine if we was a part of your event. Like, we shut events down. No questions.
No lie.
So this is not even the tip of the iceberg of what we know about what we do. So shoot us an email, book us. We'd love to be a part. Books-N-Brothas.com. Any final words, bro, before we give them the quote?
Man, definitely. I want to man, you got some exciting news. You dropped something, man.
Here you go.
I don't know why you ain't talking about it. You dropped something. I was going to know if you were going to talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So I launched something called the Bestseller Circle. So it's how to become a best-selling author in 90 days or less, even if you hate writing and don't know where to start. And you can check that at bestsellerscircle.com, and I'll put it below this video. Yeah, bro.
Man,
that's what it is.
Enough said, man. That's it. We're in on that. You ain't got to get it right.
You messed up the first part. With that being said, you don't have to get it right. That's your part.
You got to get it going.
All right, guys. See you guys next week. Love you, bro. I'll see you.
Love you too.
All right, later.
I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.